I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that sleep last night, but I got some sleep anyway. Oh. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to sleep. Right. What is the time? 20 past 8. My phone works so I can see the time, but the screen's still not working. So the sad thing is it means I can't fly the drone today because I need my phone for the drone. Anyway, worse things have happened. Let's get up, get the day going. I need to get down into Elverum, which is just down the road there. Buy myself a map of Norway so that I know where I'm going. There we go. So yesterday, using the old maps, which was really quite a lot of fun actually, I did enjoy it. I started here in Kristinehamn and I followed the route 26 all the way up to near Mora, and then I took a right and I came all the way down this side of the Lake Siljan to Leksand. And then I took the E16 to Vansbro, back where I was, up to Malung, and then came across the Norwegian border.
This is a bright and sunny morning, about 5 kilometers outside Elverum. Apparently, we're supposed to be hitting 27 degrees today, which is going to be lovely. So I need to pop down into Elverum and pick up a map. I'll get some coffee as well, of course. I'm going to start the day right today. I was looking for coffee for a while yesterday. This morning I'm going straight for the coffee place. Okay, I'm too early. Everything's closed. That's rather nice. Someone comes to do their morning shop. Absolute beauty. This is Norway, man. This is where you leave the windows open on your Ferrari. Love it. Right, so the shops don't open here for another like half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. So I'm gonna head to Hamar because I know I need to go that way anyway. Instead of sitting around here, I may as well go there and get some miles under the wheels. So I'm gonna do that. Don't you love that though? Ferrari parked with the windows open. Right, I can see the bookshop just over there. That building on the corner. So time to go find myself a map. And there's a coffee shop next door. How convenient is that? Right, so I am here right now. I'm thinking of going north to Lillehammer. And then I would like to get down to Geilo and then just head south from there, down Odda and that way there. I think it's going to be a long old bit of riding today. We'll do it, maybe. I am wondering whether it might be worth seeing if there's a mobile phone repair place here in Hamar to get that working again. But okay, so I am going to attempt
attempt, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to attempt to get the my phone fixed, because this isn't working for me, the whole map thing. Who knows, it might. Do you know, my brain is not braining when I'm looking at the map. I get it, but I haven't bought a detailed road map, which means that I'm just kind of looking at which city or which town or village I'm going to next. And that's fine. That kind of gets you so far. But it's kind of not really working for me. So I've been told by the lady in the coffee shop that there's a shopping centre out here which may well have something that can help me. Now, I'm in no mad rush to get back, and I don't know about you, but when I start making plans for myself, I'm putting a bit of pressure on myself to achieve certain things within a certain time, and that really isn't very smart when you're out doing a kind of a ride like this, because you just don't want to be rushing anything. If things go wrong, they flipping go wrong. Such is life, you know, get over it. Find a way of fixing it, get on. But whatever you do, don't start rushing, don't start panicking and making things happen faster than they should. You want to be chilled, relaxed, enjoying the experience. Right, let's see if this place has got anything to offer. I'm starting to get really warm. Well, that's like £300 for that TomTom thing. I don't think I'm going to be buying that today. I can either get my phone fixed or a GPS satnav thing at a reasonable price. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow a simpler way on larger roads here, and maybe then I can cut across here or go back across Notodden and that way. Anyway, okay, that's a bit disappointing, but life goes on, no stress. Let's get out of Hamar anyway and start heading towards kind of home direction. Oh, it's hot today. I didn't go for the pizza this time, so I feel like that's kind of like points. I really didn't want pizza. I wanted some fruit, protein, and nice bit of bread. So I can't say that today has gone completely to plan, because my plan was to go kind of inland from where I was this morning, Elverum, and kind of cut across the country. Now, I can still do that. But not having a sat-nav does make me a little bit nervous. Even though I've got a map, I can probably... It's just a bit risky. No phone, no sat-nav, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Might not be the smartest thing to do. Haven't quite made my mind up yet. I'll have a little bit of food and think about it. A really good pair. I have been about 24 hours without my phone. What I've noticed so far is that I rely on this thing for so many things. And I've also noticed that possibly this has made me more stupid. It does so many things for me that I don't need to be able to do a lot of things anymore, like map reading, for example. I don't really need to know how to read a map anymore. Okay, maps are not the most difficult thing in the world, but you try and navigate through tiny little Norwegian kind of mountain roads based on a map that's kind of really small. Obviously, I should have had a better map, but the bottom line is this kind of does it so well that I never ever have to think about map reading skills and anything like that. Also, I haven't been able to get in touch with anybody apart from yesterday afternoon when I sent a Facebook message to a couple of people in the family just to tell them what had happened, so Lillian knows that I can't call. But it also makes you feel a little bit unsafe, and that's the weird thing, because up until 20 years ago, nobody had anything like this to be able to kind of go ahead and, you know, navigate their way around the planet. And most people 20 years ago didn't have these either. It's like, well, I suppose, yeah, it would have been about kind of 20 years ago that the smartphone started to kick off. And here we are now, entirely reliant on this thing. I can't fly my drone without this. Obviously, I could buy a drone that has its own dedicated thing, but I don't want to spend another 500 quid on like a drone that I don't need. This one's fine, but I need my phone to run it. My satnav, I need my phone to run it. Any communications, I need my phone to run it. So losing this yesterday has meant there's a whole load of things I can't do. And I feel like it's kind of like made me a bit more stupid. And not being in touch with people 24/7 is probably a good thing. A really good pair. Very good. I am now in Hörnefoss, which is right here. Hörnefoss. What would that be translated? Hörne, is that chicken or hen? Foss is waterfall. So I'm at the chicken waterfall. I'm at the chicken waterfall right now. And my thing is, do I take the road that leads me towards Bergen and go this way and then come all the way down there, Odde and all of that, which is going to be a massive, massive detour, like huge. Do I go this way and over to, I think I'm going to do this because that's going to take me like 2 days. But I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a trip up there in a couple of weeks' time instead of doing it now. That's a better idea. Right, so that's that decided. So I'm going to go from Hörnefoss, where I am now, and I'm going to make my way down to Hokksund, Kongsberg, Notodden, which is kind of that way, I think. Or maybe, I don't know. It's that way. Today hasn't gone exactly to plan, but there wasn't really a plan anyway, so I don't really need to say that. I was in Kongsberg and I was planning on riding over the mountains like I did last time, taking a bit of a diversion up in the mountains to see some stuff that I haven't seen before. But I was talking to a guy at the petrol station. I said, I'm planning on going over the mountains, but my satnav doesn't work anymore. And he said, I really wouldn't do it without satnav. And if you're going to do it without satnav, you need a really detailed map, because the routes are kind of quite complex. So it's not just like one road going over the mountains. There's hundreds of little roads and hundreds of little configurations to get to where you want to go. So you can get very, very, very lost up there, run out of fuel really easily, and even if you do have a phone, you might not have reception up there. But I had neither a phone, a satnav, or any way of contacting anybody should something happen, other than hoping that I am near to some farm or something like that, which I might well be. I was tempted, I have to say, because it's a bit of a chuckle, isn't it? But I decided to take the safer option and to go south and pick up the E18 that goes from Oslo to Kristiansand, and then the E39 from Kristiansand up to Sandnes. It's a bit boring, but it's still a beautiful part of the country. And there are actually some things I want to do on the south coast. I wasn't planning on doing them this time. I don't think I'll be able to do them this time either. There's a couple of things I want to ride and do while I'm here, because it would just be a bit of fun to do that. The south coast is absolutely stunning. It's like the Norwegian Riviera. When it's weather like this, it's unbelievable. The only thing I'm struggling with today is the heat. It's really hot. It's about 27, 28 degrees. It has been all day. I've got a bit saddle sore because you sweat, don't you? And you're sat down and small micro movements, and ooh, a little bit painful. It does remind me when I rode down to Turkey, and it was like at least 35 degrees like every day, and I was just sweating through everything. But I did have my mesh jacket. I should have brought that with me, but when you're in Norway, you don't really think of like overheating when you're riding. You normally think of trying to stay warm. Anyways, probably about another 150 kilometers from Kristiansand. No, it'll be more than that, about 200 kilometers from Kristiansand to Sandnes. So I'm about 330 kilometers. I'm gonna do it in one hit. You know, I'll have to refuel once more. I've just refueled now, but I've decided that I am butt it today and just get back, because there's an awful lot to do when we get back as well. The renovations are starting on the house. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. Kind of not, but if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I'm going to hit the road after this. Yeah, a really good 2 days of riding. I really enjoyed it. Yesterday was particularly special because of the nostalgia bit. I didn't know it was going to be quite that nostalgic, in that I ended up using a paper map to find my way around. I didn't think that was going to happen. That didn't make me feel particularly nostalgic, if I'm honest. The satnav takes away a load of wasted time. You don't have to think too much. You can just go and experience. There is something about the paper map thing that is quite kind of cute. But I haven't used a paper map in years and years and years. And when you're going to use a paper map, actually you need to have quite a detailed one, and you need to really sit down and kind of plan your route before. And that is the great thing about the satnav, is that you can plan your route, but you can also plan like the different things you're going to see on the route, and it just takes all the pressure, all the stress, and you can just spend more time riding and not have to think about if you're taking a wrong turn. I've taken 3 wrong turns today, and that's put at least 60 kilometers on my journey. It's about 40 miles. Now it's not too bad, you know. I started riding at like 9 o'clock this morning, and now what time is it? 7 o'clock. So I've stopped a couple of times for drinks and whatnot, but we're looking already at 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of riding, and I've probably got another 4. No wonder my butt is hurting so bad. I need to do a dedicated review of the T-Bird, don't I? I just realized that I've just passed, I think it's 11,500 miles that I've ridden on this bike. I've had one fault, and that was the electrical fault I had in Kongsberg the other day. Other than that, it's just an absolute tank, and I've never really ridden a bike like it. I absolutely love it, and I think when it's time to retire this one, if there's ever a time to retire this one, get another one in better nick, I think. My butt's killing me.
It is now 11:30 and my butt is hurting so much. But I've just arrived in Sandnes and I started riding this morning at 9 o'clock. So that's 14.5 hours ago. I've had a few stops, but my life. I'm ready for bed and a shower. Lillian doesn't know I've arrived yet, and I think she's here at her mum's. I'm hoping she is. I'll go and check. Anyway,